Today we're taking a look at what I think is going to be one of the most competitive and, more importantly, one of the most fun decks in the English 1.5 meta. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Levo here with the Digibros.
Digibros!
Today we got an exciting English 1.5 video. I know, finally here. 1.0 meta is almost done. Omnimon Blue reigning the format. It's finally almost over. Cut to 1.5 Omnimon Blue still being one of the best decks. I still think it's going to be a really good deck. I don't doubt that at all. But yeah, it's nice to see that the format might be able to change just a little bit. We're not going to see so many of the same decks. Not that I think 1.0 has just been saturated with the same deck. One thing I've loved about this game and about the 1.0 format is how almost every color is competitively viable. Like, I've seen just about every color do well in an event. That really excites me about this game. I really love that about Digimon. I love how no matter what Digimon you like or what color you're into, there's a way to make that deck competitive, and I think that's a really awesome thing about this game. So yeah, that excites me. But we're moving into a new format. We got a whole new set coming out this Friday. I'm filming this at 1:30 in the morning right now, so if I look a little tired, I'm probably a little tired. I just really wanted to get this deck to you guys. I put it together and we did some play tests with it. Oh yeah, guys, let's actually take a look at the deck. Bam! Here it is, Craniamon himself. This is what I believe is going to be the best way to be playing black in 1.5. Super fun. It's a super awesome control deck, and I'm going to be breaking it down right now for you guys so you guys can get an idea of how the deck plays and, kind of see what it does. So let's move on to the babies. We got 4 Kapurimon. Kapurimon's really, I wish I can say it was really good. It's not great.
Ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Black doesn't have a lot of great Digitamas at the moment. This one's effect states that if the Digimon above it has reboot, it gains 1,000. There is another black Digitama you can play. There's actually 2 others. One is for the Ragnalordmon deck, and there's the other one that's the Diaboromon one, whereas if you have one on the same name, it gains 2,000. Neither of those are really relevant. I would consider running them just to have a 5th Tama, so I think the correct thing would probably run the Diaboromon one. Or, actually, maybe, I don't know, maybe we do run level 7s in this deck. I just don't think any of the effects of them are great, so you might as well run 5. So this is actually incorrect. Wow, we're really starting off the deck profile great. Going at the top, I'm going to start with our level 7s. We run 3 copies of the big man. Oh, Lord, you are not the big man. The big man. You're a big man. I didn't mean you're not a big man. I didn't mean that, Craniamon. Sorry. The big man, Alter S. We run 3 copies of him. He is the new boss monster. Let me see if I can let you guys get a look at this guy. This is the Japanese version, but he will be out in English this Friday. And yeah, his effect is, he's a really powerful effect. First of all, let me state, he evolves on red and black. So black now has access to a second level 7 outside of Millenniumon, which is super awesome. 15,000 attack. And yeah, when evolved, you trigger Devolve 1 on all of your opponent's Digimon. So their whole field gets devolved by 1, and then after that you destroy all of their Digimon with 5,000 or less attack. And that's an incredibly powerful effect. Here's a second effect that is not as relevant. It's not as good as the current Omnimon's effect, but when attacking you can add the level 6 from under him to your hand to make it where he can't be blocked this turn. And that can come up, if you're going for game, they've got a blocker and you go into him, add it back to your hand, they can't block him, and you attack for game. That'd be awesome if that came up. It's never come up for me in the several months we've tried playing with him, but he's a super awesome card. Moving on down to the other big man. I didn't mean to call him not a big man earlier, but this is Craniamon. He is what your whole deck is revolving around. He is super awesome. I love his artwork. I want to let you guys get a look at him. He's like a knight. Yeah, look at him. He's got skulls and everything going on with him. Super cool looking card. Alright, but his effect states, first of all, he is a blocker. That's his first effect. He's a blocker, meaning if your opponent attacks, you can change the attack to him. Super strong effect, just the fact that he's 12k and a blocker. But it's his other effect that actually makes him borderline broken. His effect states that all of your blockers on the field cannot be deleted by your opponent's card effects. And that does count himself since he is a blocker. So Gaia Force, you can't trump sword him, you can't do it to any of your blockers. So that's super awesome because he protects your whole field. It's basically an auto win against purple because this also works against retaliation, because retaliation is an effect that deletes, and he prevents all of your blockers from being deleted by your opponent's card effects. So go into him, he protects your whole field, and you basically win from there. So basically your deck's main purpose is to get up into him and then start building up other lines of blockers. And then we run other level 6s to go along with him as 2 War Greymon. Really simple, awesome effect. He's from BT1. You probably know what he does. He has Reboot and Blocker. Really simple, but really great. If you have these two next to each other, you're probably going to win that game. So, and he's only 3 to evolve. So if you're able to pick these up, I think you should. They shouldn't be too expensive. And actually, from what I've seen, Craniumons pre-ordering are not too expensive either. They're about $10 or so. So I don't think the deck should be too expensive outside of the 3 Ultra S, which of course you don't have to play. You can play Millenniummon instead, but Ultra S is just a super powerful card. I think if you have them, you should play them. For the round off level 6, I do run 1 copy of Blitz Greymon. I would love to try to find a way to run a second one of him because he is so powerful. Sadly, I didn't actually draw him in the gameplay you guys are going to see today, but he's still a super awesome and powerful card. He's 4 to evolve on top of black and red, so black and red decks are going to be utilizing him. He's a super awesome new card. You can see he's got super just awesome artwork. When he's evolved, you can trigger Devolve 2 on one of your opponent's Digimon. So if your opponent has a level 7, you go into him, they bring it down to a level 5. Your opponent's playing Craniumon, they got their Craniumon on the field, you go into him, trigger, Devolve down to their level 4. Super good card. And then he has the other effect that he has Piercing. So super awesome. I would love to find room for a second one, but right now the deck's just a little tight. But I will tell you guys what I will cut. But yeah, moving on to our level 5s. This is another thing I would like to change about the deck. We're running 8. We're running 4 of the Metal Greymon. Just has Reboot and it's inheritable. Gives the one above it. If it has Reboot, it gives it Security Attack +1. So obviously you want to pair that with the War Greymon because it'll give him Security Attack +1. And there are ways to give your Craniumon and all them. We have a few different methods as I'll get to later in the deck. But yeah, he's super good. And then we run 4 Angemon. Just a blocker, 7,000. Really solid. I do wish the change I was mentioning earlier, I wish I was running 2 more level 5s just because of how many level 6s we were running. The fact that I'm trying to add 1 more, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 level 6s, and then you know, 8. So whereas right now I'm running 7 and 8. Now I think this is not enough. I think we should run 10. Anyways, let's just move on down to the 4s. We run 4 copy of Mr. Gargemon. Can't attack, but he has 7k, and he's a blocker. Level 4, really awesome. Stops most level 5s from attacking, stops every level 4 from attacking, so he's super incredible. We got 4 of our Greymon. No on-field effect. Oh lord, what are we doing here? 4 Greymon. Mr. Numemon just got a little too excited and wanted to get on out there. 4 of the Greymon, inheritable. If the Digimon above it has Reboot, gets jamming. So there are a lot of times where if your hand's bad, you can just throw him on the field and just put him on top of him and then just start swinging with jamming every turn, and then he'll Reboot so your opponent can't attack over him. You can just play little grind games like that. Super good. And then 4 Numemon. I prefer Numemon to the Tankmon, who is 6k, 1 to evolve level 4, because he is a 3 to play from hand. So he's basically the cost of a rookie, but he's level 4. So if your hand's not very optimal, you can just throw him on the field. It's the same cost of a rookie, but then next turn you can go up into a level 5 and possibly up into your level 6 and to your Craniumon. So I think he's super good for that matter. And the fact that he's only 3,000 attack is not that relevant. You're not normally wanting to swing with your lower level Digimon in this deck. You're going to want to try to gain advantage by going up into your Craniumon and controlling the board that way, not by swinging for those early security attacks if you can prevent it. But you know, sometimes you can't. Moving on down to the level 3s, we do run quite a few, and I will explain them all right now. 4 Toy Agumon. Toy Agumon's really good. Inheritable effect, gives the one above it Reboot. So he is how you are triggering all these effects, the Greymon, the Metal Greymon, all of them. He is one of the ways, he's probably the main way we're giving the ones above it Reboot if they don't have it natively. We run 4 Gatomon. Blocker, have to pay 2 to attack. 3, super good. With Craniumon, you can just drop him on the field. He's protected from stuff. Super good. We run 2 Caramon. This Caramon just gives the Digimon 1000 attack during your turn. Super good. It's like an Agumon normal. I mean, that's a really relevant effect. Can boost your Craniumon up to 13. Can boost your Wargreymon up to 12,000. So it can help you certain situations like that if you need to beat over something. And then we run 4 Vanillas. These are the 2 drops, 3,000 attack. You could run 4 the same, either one. I'm running 2 and 2 just for the off chance you have 2 on the field and your opponent omnis you. You might as, I mean, run different ones just because you can. There's no reason not to, but there's no particular reason you should run different ones. But there's just 4 vanilla slots and then 2 of the plus 1,000. So yeah, super good. 14 rookies I think is always the way to go if you can and if you have the room. That is all for our Digimon. We have 6 more cards. We do play 4 Tamers in the form of Mr. Joe right here. Joe is super fun, super awesome. Joe's effect is at the start of your turn, if you have a blocker, gain a memory. Super simple, but they stack. So if you have 2 Joes, you gain 2 memory, 3 Joes, 3 memory, 4 Joes, 4 memory. But yeah, that's why you run 4, because you always want to see this card. Running well over 15 blockers, so I mean, you definitely want to max out on Joe, because gaining memory is the name of the game in Digimon. And then I am trying out this card that I'm going to get to next. A friend of mine told me it was super spicy and that I should run it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about it yet. But that is 2 copies of Breath of the Gods. In his list, he was running 4 and maxing out on it. I ran it at 2 and it was pretty good. It was not amazing, being that, well, let me tell you what it does first. Its effect states that you play it, it's 2 to play. You give your Digimon Reboot, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, its DP cannot be reduced and it cannot be returned to the hand or the deck. Basically, I'll tell you the only situation this is for. It's for when you have your Craniumon and you're playing against yellow, green, or blue. It makes it where they can't Cocytus Breath you, they can't Seven Heavens you, or make him lose DP in any way, and they can't use Terror Cluster to put him on the bottom of the deck. So you play this, he's natively not able to be destroyed by card effects. You play this, give him Reboot, swing into security, you know, live, he'll get Reboot, and then he's protected from any card your opponent can use to try to out him. They cannot Millennium on him, they cannot Terror Cluster him, they can't do anything to him the next turn except for attack over him, which is very hard to do because he is 12k and it gives him Reboot, so it makes him active. So in theory this card should be really broken, but I don't know. Maybe just in my limited testing it wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be. I am not saying the card is not good. I think you guys should check it out because it does actually have a really awesome security effect. The security effect states that when you hit it and it activates that your opponent cannot attack the player anymore. So as you'll see in the gameplay, I was playing a Ragnalordmon deck and he had security attack +1, but he hit this on the first one. And since in the game of Digimon, each security attack reveals and resolves as it, you know, as we flip them. So you'll flip this, it'll say your opponent can't attack the player anymore. So that means he can no longer finish the extra security attacks because he is no longer able to attack the player. So it's super relevant in that case if you're in that situation or able to resolve that effect. But other than that, and I do think it has a really good main effect. So I mean, it's hard for me to know how to feel about it without testing it more. But I don't know. Certain part of me really wishes these were just spider shooters because they're just extra ways to help deal with your opponent's Digimon. But then again, maybe that would be solved by just running more of the Blitz Greymon. It's hard to really know without testing more, but yeah, let me know what you think of this deck, guys. It's super fun. I think it's going to be a super competitive deck moving forward. It's definitely going to be Black's kind of ability to actually do decent in tournaments. It's probably one of the only colors that wasn't, it just, I don't know, I feel like it didn't have enough to be too great in the 1.0 format. Alright guys, I know what you're thinking. Levi, you look like you're wearing a different shirt. That's true. It's actually a different day. I realized last night when I was recording I forgot to record an outro. So that's what I'm doing now. Recording an outro. But yeah guys, be sure to subscribe because tomorrow we have gameplay featuring this Craniumon deck coming out. We have it versus Ragnalordmon, and you can expect a Ragnalordmon deck profile coming shortly after. But anyways guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more Digimon TCG related content. My name is Levi. I'm with the Digibros. I'll see you guys next time.